Hey y'all, this is my recap for The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 9, Episode 13, Point Break. So, I apologize for the lighting in here. I'm only back home for a little bit of time, so I'm trying to catch up on as many recaps as I can. Not a lot happened this episode. I feel like I'm saying that a lot on my recaps, but this was really leading up to, it's basically one theme, which is, in my opinion, Tamra's behind all the trouble. So we have Heather and Shannon refusing to let anything die. We're just going to hold on to our bitterness till the end of time. And we have Tamra just stirring that pot, just constantly. Now, let's see, Heather and Terry and Brooks and Vicki get together for some kind of, I assume, Japanese food. They were having sake. And they're kind of discuss what went down in Mexico and that Shannon's really upset. And, you know, the difference between the story that Shannon's telling and the story that Heather is telling is not really that different. I mean, it's kind of variations on a theme. And I think it's pretty understandable that two people that went through a super emotional experience, like a fight, have slightly varying stories. So that's not really that surprising. Anyway, Lizzie has a beach house that her parents live at half the year. They're remodeling it. They said that it's stuck in the 90s, which made me think, oh, well, that's just a few years out of date. And then I did the math, and I was like, holy cow, the 90s were a long time ago. And they're going to have a party, and all the girls are coming and their spouses. So Tamra and Vicki talk about Shannon and Heather drama and all that. On the way there, Shannon discusses with David that Tamra told her that Terry called Tamra and said, I want to take the Bedores down. That doesn't really sound like Terry. I don't think Terry and Tamra really have that kind of relationship that he would call her and say that. And it doesn't really strike me as Terry. He's, you know, he's kind of a goofball and stuff, but it just doesn't really seem to be in his nature. And truthfully, that's kind of a stretch for me, period, on this show. I know, I mean, I know not exactly, but I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, Shannon gets there. She wants to confront them. She pulls aside Tamra and she says, well, you've been saying, are you going to back me up? And Tamra's like, to me, she looks genuinely dumbfounded. And she goes, I don't remember saying that. Well, anyway, so Shannon lets it drop. No point in bringing it up if Tamra's going to accuse her of being a liar, make her look crazy. But notice that Tamra tells Heather that Shannon said this. So it still gets brought up. Tamra's sure showing up a lot this episode. And Vicki, Vicki and Lizzie and everyone else seems to notice that Tamra's kind of in the middle of everything. So Tamra brings it up and Terry's like shocked and basically yells across the table, you think I said what? And then there's all this kind of ruckus. He does back down and say, I'm sorry if I was yelling. I was just so shocked, which I think is reasonable, especially if it's actually true that he never said this. There's still all this friction. As you know, I like Heather, but girl, you could let some stuff go. If she was my friend, I would be like, Heather, just let the fight go. You know, stop saying when you yelled at me. Just say the Christmas party incident. Just kind of give it, you know, take away some of that connotation, lighten up a little bit. That's what I would tell her as my friend. I like her. She does not set me on edge the way that some other people do. Anyway, it keeps going and it kind of calms down a little bit, and then Tamra like takes Heather outside and, you know, kind of stirs the pot some more. Well, then let's see who goes out. Oh, well, then David is upset with Tamra, so they go outside. Well, then Shannon goes outside. Then Tamra calls out Heather, and it just escalates until Shannon just loses her mind and she's screaming and she's yelling. And all the focus is on picking sides between Heather and Shannon. I feel really bad for Shannon, but I don't think I think she's been wrong in a lot of things. I like Heather, but she has also been wrong in a lot of things. But I'm really wondering is why is the hammer should be coming down on Tamra. She is at the root of so many of these problems. So it looks like we're going to be kind of getting to that point eventually, but really, that's the whole episode. That's all that happens. So I really want to see what's going to happen when people start going, hey, Tamra, what's going on? Why are you in the middle of all this? Why are you stir in the pot. Why are you repeating things? Anyway, that's my recap.